And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again, another day committed to being your consumer advocate. It's all about making you just a bit more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, serving as your consumer advocate. And what does that actually mean, a consumer advocate? Well, we're going to look out for you. We're going to help you understand more about your buying decisions, make you just a bit more street smart, as we say here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Now, we don't care if you're climbing a corporate ladder or if you throw a ladder in your truck on the way to work. This show's for you. We want to help you win. Lock in our hotline number in your phone. At some point, you may need it. 813-670-7372. That is our consumer advocate hotline number, 813-670-7372.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
And you want to make sure you bookmark our website as well, consumerqb.com. A plethora of information available for you on our website at consumerqb.com. You can see links there to all of our expert contributors, the finest folks in all of Tampa Bay and the Gulf Coast region that we've assembled, we vetted, and we bring on the show to help you understand about your buying decisions here in Tampa Bay. This segment is brought to you by Golf Cart Depot, the official golf cart provider of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Golf Cart Depot, you can test drive one today. They will bring the golf cart to you, and they have awesome opportunities to own Easy Go, Smart EV, Cushman, pre-owned, remanufactured. They've got the Icon electric vehicles as well. Tampa location, Orlando Lakes, Clearwater location, just off of US 19. Golf Cart Depot of Florida. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you, and take them up on the special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Say hello to Marty and his team over at Golf Cart Depot of Florida. Friends of the Consumer Quarterback Show here in Tampa Bay. A couple of hot property listings for this segment here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We feature your real estate listings live on air like no other real estate company does. We've got property available here in Tampa Bay, 4207 South Del Mabry Highway. This is an opportunity to own a 3-bedroom, 2-bath property. Got a community pool, and it's a end-unit condo right here at Grand Key Condo in South Tampa. Great opportunity to own real estate here in Tampa Bay. Affordable, listed around $240,000. So where else can you find a 3-bedroom, 2-bath property in South Tampa for around $240,000 with a pool? Not many places. We also have a property available here in Tampa Bay on KETCH Court. We've got a lot of vacant land, for example, here in Tampa Bay. We've got KETCH Court. This is in Tarpon Springs. Waterfront water views. It's right where the Anclote River kind of opens up into the Tampa Bay here, the Gulf of Mexico. Beautiful properties available. We got a lot of vacant land properties, other properties available, commercial vacant lands available, vacant lots to build on here in Tampa Bay as well. So check out our real estate listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. And we got a great lineup for you today here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We're going to have attorney Jason Kobal. He's going to be talking about personal injury law, things happening in the consumer space, and how first responders and other folks now that are affected potentially from COVID-19 could potentially have some compensation coming related to post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD as well. And, with bars and restaurants opening up and casinos opening back up, it may not look the same. The Hard Rock is opening, but it may not look the same as you remember last time, if you may have visited the Hard Rock Casino in Tampa Bay. So we're going to talk with attorney Jason Kobal Law. Kobal Law here has got his casino game as well, over-under game that he invented, and it has been circulating in different places as well. Mary Surnicki as well on Suncoast Roofing, going to be talking about GAF Master Elite Certified Contractors, how they offer a 50-year warranty. That's right, 50-year warranty on your roofs, and ways that you can save money with insurance and other ideas to save money here, of course, on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And we got some headlines as well. We're going to talk about some of the changes that are happening. What industries got hit hardest with the COVID-19? The airline industry got devastated. Flights are down major percentages. The sporting arena, we all follow sports a lot as well. UFC made a ton of money with UFC 249, millions of dollars that they made, and they paid out their fighters kind of a small percentage, very small percentage when you look at actually what the fighters made. And also Major League Baseball proposing to cut salaries. Chipper Jones, Tom Glavine came out and said, hey, we don't really feel like, the American people, over 40 million people unemployed now, feel like hearing about millionaires squabbling over how much money how many millions are going to make. 2 million, 5 million, 20 million. That was an interesting story I saw. Peloton could emerge much stronger after coronavirus shutdowns end, analysts say. So Anytime Fitness, Gold's Gym, a lot of these businesses filing for Chapter 7 or even Chapter 11 reorganization. But some of these fitness facilities going out of business, how does that affect companies like Peloton? Their stock's going to go up. They're going to be booming. They're going to be making some money. And then also the hotel industry, major hits, hotel industry, the impact to the travel industry, 9 times worse than 9/11. And you remember 9/11 when that happened, the Twin Towers went down. 9/11 we were devastated in America, not many people flying, a lot of the hotels not being operated. So that was 9 times worse than we felt with COVID-19. So, hey, another great show lined up for you here. We appreciate you tuning in to the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we've got a great lineup for you as well as our feel-good story of the day coming at you. So we appreciate you tuning in. Follow us online. We would love to connect with you. This is an interactive show at Brandon Rhymes1 on Instagram and Twitter. Platinum MVP Team on Facebook. We got Brandon Rhymes PA as well out there on LinkedIn. We would love to connect with you and be your consumer advocate, your real estate team, your local real estate economist of choice right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Make sure you check out consumerqb.com and support our local show partners at consumerqb.com. And we'll be right back after this short break. Don't go anywhere.
This is Chris Voss, former FBI lead hostage negotiator and owner of the Black Swan Group, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, helping you win in your real estate deals, buying, selling, or investing. We help our sellers maximize the exposure on the sale of their real estate properties, and it really comes down to exposure, especially when you think about, iHeartRadio, 102.5 The Bone, AM 860 The Answer. We syndicate our show on Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, and Roku. And if you're thinking about selling, we can feature your property that way too, just like we're doing for our friend Michael at 8325 West Hillsborough Avenue in Tampa. This is a great opportunity to own a building. If you're a business owner and you want to own your own space instead of renting, reach out. We'd love to talk to you. 8325 West Hillsborough Avenue in Tampa. Get a large conference room. You got a small kitchen and about 8 other offices in there. Great opportunity. You got signage on Hillsborough Avenue. Think about the signage and the advertising that you can do out by Hillsborough Avenue with about 40 to 50,000 vehicles a day going by. Great opportunity here in Tampa Bay. 4214 Peaceful Lane in Land O'Lakes. Now, this is a developer opportunity. Builder, developer, 8 lots right on Bell Lake, 5 of which are waterfront. Now, Bell Lake in Land O'Lakes is a 90-acre ski lake. Hot real estate opportunity here in Tampa Bay. Check out all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. And this segment is brought to you by Brothers Easy Moving. The official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show is Brothers Easy Moving. I can tell you from firsthand experience, they are a first-class organization. They did a great job with my family's move, and I trust them. You can trust them too. Reach out to Brothers Easy Moving, local or long distance moving, packing, junk hauling, office, and more. Brothers Easy Moving, the official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, we got Mary Surnicki on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Suncoast Roofing in the house. Hey, Mary.
Hi, how are you?
Doing wonderful. And yourself?
Good. It's great to see you again. Great to be back on the show.
Excellent. Good to hear it. I feel like COVID-19 is somewhat in the rearview mirror. Do you feel the same?
Yeah, I do. And we're pretty fortunate that we kept moving along. People, it's one of the things, everyone needs a roof. So you have to have a roof over your head. So if you have a problem with your roof, we were still able to come out and do re-roofs and repairs and all the things, during the COVID-19. Just made it a little bit more challenging, but we did it.
Yeah, especially, hurricane season. Here we are. Hurricane season coming. I know we had a couple good rains lately as well. It's a great time to get in ready in preparedness for hurricanes.
Yeah, we also like to, just let everyone know that this is the time for, let us come out and inspect your roof, because we can tell you what the issues and the problems are with your roof. That way, before a storm comes. Because sometimes when a storm comes, it's a little bit too late. So we'd love to come out. We do free estimates. We'll tell you what we think you should do. We have a new shingle that we install from DAF that doesn't have any wind maximum. So it's something new. They have a different nailing strip. So it really helps to protect your home even further.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you've heard Chuck Peterson on the show, Suncoast Roofing, Mary Surnicki, and Chuck is more in the field, out running around and looking at jobs, I'm sure, checking up on the crews. Talk a little bit about how the company operates, and then also the big fact is that you guys are a GAF Master Elite certified contractor, and so when you do your installs, a lot of these installations are 50-year warranty. Is that right?
Yep. It's a Golden Pledge 50-year warranty. So, people always say, well, I'd like to have a metal roof because it has, it lasts longer. We're a Master Elite installer for GAF, and we're able to, offer our customers the Golden Pledge warranty, which is, 25 years on labor and a 50-year warranty. So, and it's transferable once. So if you're going to sell your house in the next few years, but you still need a roof, you don't lose any value because you're able to transfer that warranty to the new homeowner. So it's a good selling feature.
We talk a lot about supporting the local economy here in Tampa Bay. Diane Vance, Fairway Independent Mortgage, William Crowley, the Credit Magician, a lot of our expert contributors based here in Tampa Bay. And when you think about that local feel, I feel now more than ever, we need to have more of a collaborative economy here. Small businesses supporting one another, and Suncoast Roofing right here based out of Tampa Bay. I think you're in Pasco County, correct?
Yep. We're off of 52 in Hudson. And this is our newer location. We've been here about 2 years. We were down in Tampa and we just needed a little bit more space. So we came up to Pasco County. And it's interesting you said that about the small businesses supporting each other. A few months ago, I joined this group called The Hub, and they're local business owners. There's contractors, landscapers, tree services, anything you can think of, media, and we all kind of help promote each other. And it's really helped us get through the COVID-19. And it's called The Hub, and it's so important to go to your local restaurant and to support your small business.
Yeah, I think even with, people getting repairs on their roof, real estate deals, renovation loans, people want to renovate properties, but also with the influx of people moving in, we talk a lot about the migration patterns of Americans and 10 things to consider before moving from one state to another. We talk about the Small Business Policy Index. So, for example, Texas, Nevada, Florida, number 1, 2, 3 as far as best states to move as far as business policies go. So, small business owners, entrepreneurs looking to move their business out of state. And by the way, the states that folks are moving from the most: Minnesota, New York, Hawaii, California, New Jersey. They're moving out of those states. They're being forced out basically by the governors and the policies. So Texas, Florida, Nevada, 1, 2, 3 on the list.
Yeah, because it's hard to own a business up in those states. They're taxed and there's such regulations, and for a small business owner, it's you don't have as many freedoms as you do like in Florida. So it's a wonderful place to live and to work. And I'm, so thankful that I'm part of this community. And even though all the things that are going on in the world right now, Suncoast Roofing is part of, we're helping the Pasco Coalition of the Homeless to actually collect socks for the homeless, because with everything going on, a lot of the people that donated to like the homeless, they've kind of had to pull back because because of everything that's going on. So there's a great need in our area. So that's one of the things Suncoast Roofing is doing this month, going into the end of June.
Yeah. Yep, that's awesome. That's good stuff. Mary Surnicki here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. She's representing Suncoast Roofing, and they're based in Pasco County. We had Pasco County Commissioner Jack Mariano on the show just a couple weeks back, last week actually, and yeah, we're talking about sustainability. We're talking about a lot of things happening, the COVID-19 issues that it seems like we're kind of moving past that. But yeah, Pasco is a great area to be in. Some of the latest stats in Pasco County are right here as well. I've got some of the stats. When you look at Pasco County, you had, in terms of inventory, so this is April, at the end of April, we had 2,651 residential properties available in Pasco County. Now, out of that 2,651, you had 1,068 that sold. So that's a 40.3% absorption rate and a 2.48 month supply, which indicates a strong seller's market in Pasco County.
Yeah. Absolutely. And, and when you're looking to buy a home, give us a call. We come out, we'll look at the roof for you. We'll tell you what you need. That way it gives you more buying power, and you're not having to, it helps with the negotiations, because your roof is one of the largest investments in your home, besides if you were to redo your whole, remodel or kitchen or something like that, your roof is so important.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a good point too, Mary, you bring up, as far as, we work with Jay Smith, Snoop Inspections a lot. I know you guys work with him too for the 4-point inspections. Talk about how that can help decrease some of the costs that homeowners have.
Yeah, so we do work with Jay over at Snoop Inspections, and they come out and they do a wind mitigation report for our clients. And what that does is that's what the insurance company needs to reduce your rate. And if you don't have that, because they come out, they check they check the hurricane straps to make sure everything is correct. They go into your attic, they take pictures. And then once you're approved with your wind mitigation, you submit that to your insurance company, and the savings is enormous. It really is.
Yeah, it can definitely help you. And, so the insurance side, the just understanding what type of roof system you have. I know, especially on new construction, even on new construction, sometimes the builders, they're building these properties so quickly. Have you seen that happen too with the new construction side, Mary?
Yeah, absolutely. And the strange thing is so as a roofing contractor in Florida, we have to stand by a 5-year warranty. That's part of being able to have a roofing license here in the state of Florida. But in these communities, they're saying your roof is warranted for 1 year. You know, and you have to kind of speak up and make sure that that's not, you know, if you're buying a house, that that's not in your contract, because that's not correct. You know what I mean? They should stand, you know, they need to stand by their workmanship.
Yeah, I know. Even in some of the properties I've seen, if they don't put the baffling in properly, for example, the baffling is where the kind of like your drip edge, your soffit, your fascia comes and meets. That baffling is supposed to be spaced out enough to allow airflow. So when that air flows up, it goes out the vents that are in the top of a vented roof system. That's important as well, to have that installed properly.
Absolutely, because if you don't have the proper ventilation on your home, your roof is not going to last, and you're going to have other problems.
Yeah.
You know, your home is just, it's not designed to be like that, because your home has to breathe. With the heat that we have in Florida, it has to circulate the air.
Yeah, and you're going to pull that air out, pull that hot air out. Otherwise, your roof shingles will burn up in a short period of time.
Yeah, and that's why you see like the curling of shingles, and you know, you see in these new communities, they might have these kind of off 750 ventilations. They have 2 of them on a giant roof. You really need better for your home. You know, we install Cobra Ridge Runner along the ridge. It's really one of the best technologies out there. It really allows you know, enough air in your attic without causing any, you know, any water or anything like that to enter your home.
Yeah, right on. We're talking with Mary Surnicki, Suncoast Roofing, here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. Suncoastroofing.com is the website as well. And when you think about our show, we want to thank you for listening and hanging in here with us, and we appreciate that. And we want you to think about this show as the hub of your financial, your business, your real estate, your health will. You know, we bring on all types of expert contributors. Self-defense is another one of those spokes extending out, representing another one of our preferred partners, our expert contributors that we bring on the show. And we would love to engage with you. It's a you know, we want to make it an engagement side, an interactive show here. So reach out to our hotline if you have, you know, any conversations you want to have with any of our expert contributors, over 50 show partners. And we're talking with Mary Surnicki here on the show about roofing right now as well. So 813-670-7372 and consumerqb.com, 813-670-7372. consumerqb.com is the website as well. You can see links there to all of our expert contributors on the website. And Mary, when you think about the different types of systems, the shingle is the most popular. I think it's the most affordable, but there are other options as well. If maybe your homeowners association requires you to put a certain type of tile roof, maybe, for example, or even metal on the
So in a lot of the areas that we service, because we go down to Naples, and a lot of those HOAs require you to have tile on the roof. So we do tile, we do metal, we do different kinds of metal, we do exposed fastener, hidden fastener, you know, anything you can think of. We also do commercial flat roofs, because usually every house has a little flat roof. You know, maybe it's 4 or 5 squares in the back over a lanai or a patio, and they have, you know, mod bitumen roofing on it, or, you know, some sort of rolled flat roofing. And, you know, we install TPO. So there's nothing that we can't do for you.
Absolutely. Reach out to Suncoast Roofing, longtime show partner here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, longtime friend of the program. You've heard Chuck Peterson. And so, Chuck, what's Chuck out there doing now? Is he running around checking on some of the crews?
Well, he's actually out down in Bonita Springs, working with a customer that we've had for a couple of years that are looking to do some more properties with us. So he's down there meeting with them, you know, and just kind of seeing where, you know, where the opportunities are. So that's where he is. He's down south today.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was at a speaking event in Orlando last year. I spoke over at PodFest, which is pretty cool. PodFest was, you know, an international group of podcast hosts and all types of support businesses for PodFest. But I had a gentleman that pitched me a roofing product. I showed that to Chuck. I haven't heard back on that. I was curious. I want to follow up with him off air on that and see what it was. But I'm sure, you know, there's you get pitched different types of products, I'm sure, in your industry. You know, hey, this could be the next thing, right?
Yeah, they do. There's people that walk in our showroom every day, and, you know, they have a new solar fan, or they have a new accessory, you know, for the roofs, or they have a, you know, different satellite kind of way to measure the roofs, you know. And one of the things that we do that we did start last year is we have this drone program, and we drone some of our commercial properties, and you can actually, the technology, you can actually see the damage that's on the roof.
Wow.
And it can actually tell you if you're a part of an HOA and you have like 16 buildings, it helps us to give you where to start. You know what I mean? Because maybe you can only do 6 buildings at a time. With this technology, it tells you where you should start.
Yeah, that's awesome. I could definitely see that. I talked to another contractor, friend of mine. He said he was using drone technology up in the big city, in New York City, for example, to see some of the different skyscrapers. You know, if you think about it, if you have a loose brick or something that falls off and hits a pedestrian, huge lawsuits there. So they can use drones to do that as well. And you mentioned solar. Go ahead.
Okay. We've even had inspectors come out with drones. You know what I mean? Because you really get to see, and it takes pictures and stuff like that. So some of the municipalities are going towards that as well.
Yeah, and you mentioned
we do
solar as well. Yep, you mentioned that.
We do solar. We do GAF Decotech. We install that. It has no racking system, so it's not raised off the roof. It goes right. It's part of your roofing system. There is no shingles underneath it. It goes on to a layer of peel and stick, is the water barrier, and then a layer of fire retard, and then it's flashed in, and the shingle panel is part of your roof. So new technology. We've been installing it for about a year. We've been a partner for GAF Solar for about that long as well, and we're installing more and more of them.
Hey, good stuff. Good to catch up with you, Mary. Appreciate you zooming into the show here and keeping our listeners and viewers of our show informed on all things roofing. Check out suncoastroofing.com. And thanks so much, Mary.
Thanks so much, Brandon.
Have a good day. All right.
You too.
So, hey, good stuff there. Mary, Surnicki, Chuck Peterson, Suncoast Roofing. When we come back, we got our feel-good story of the day coming at you. Hawaii fishermen donate 220 pounds of tuna to local hospitals. Find out about that more from our expert contributors. Also, attorney Jason Kobal, Kobal Law, coming up here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We're going to talk about some of the new developments in the legal profession right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show, hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here. I'm your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, published author, professional speaker. Check out our book on Amazon, Become the MVP in Your Industry by Surfing the Radio Waves, teaching our model radio TV show coupled with our other businesses. My wife Lindsay and I own and operate multiple businesses, most notably the Platinum MVP team at Keller Realty. And Lindsay also does feng shui, interior design, certified in feng shui, and also home clearing, energy healing, couples healings, meditation workshops, and more. Check out platinummvpteam.kw.com for our real estate business, platinummvpteam.kw.com for our real estate information, and also some of our hot listings, like we've got 6417 Yvette Drive. This one's in Hudson Beach, waterfront beauty. Great opportunity to own real estate right here in Tampa Bay. This one's in Hudson Beach on Yvette Drive. You've got direct water about 100 yards out to the left there. You come out of your dock and make a left. 6417 Yvette Drive in Hudson, 2-bedroom, 2-bath. Great opportunity right here in Tampa Bay. Live that Florida lifestyle at its best right here in Pasco County, Hudson, Florida, right here in Tampa Bay. Some great opportunities as far as vacant land goes. I've got lots of vacant land listings. And Rob, if you want to just scroll through a couple of those, we'll talk about some of the vacant land opportunities. Residential, commercial. This is KETCH Court, Tarpon Springs. Check out those beautiful photography pictures from MABRY Frameworks, the aerial drone photography. Great lot. Where else can you pay like $99,000 for a lot and build and have $1 million neighbors, right? You got $1 million homes surrounding you right there in Tarpon Springs. Great opportunity. North Point Alexis Drive, $39,000 lot, same community. You got $1 million properties. I'm about to list a $2.5 million property in that same community as well. Great opportunities in Clearwater, Harbor Drive. We got 2 lots side by side right next to the Pinellas Trail. Waterfront, again, $150,000 waterfront lots available in Clearwater. Great real estate opportunities here in Tampa Bay. 4214 Peaceful Lane, another developer opportunity, over $1 million listing, and it's 8 lots right on the lake in the Lando Lakes. Check out all of our properties at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
And I wanted to promote a gig for Adelia, our massage expert contributor, Adelia Bennett, the heavy mellow mushroom, Adelia Massage. She's got something going on over in Oldsmar from 3 to 6 on Thursday. Go say hello to Adelia and her team. She's going to be offering 30-minute organic chair massages with hot stones or Theragun for only $39. Say hello to Adelia. Let her know you heard about her right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. She's got an event going on Thursday, 3 to 6 p.m. at 4022 Tampa Road, number 8, suite number 8 here in Oldsmar. Say hello to Adelia. Let her know that you heard about her right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, we got an attorney, Jason Kobal, back on the show. Attorney Kobal Law. Welcome back, sir.
Thank you, Brandon. Always a pleasure.
Hey, good stuff. We got a lot of stuff to talk about here, man. The COVID-19 has come through, the pandemic. You got first responders we talked about in the past that are now kind of can qualify. They have to submit, I guess, paperwork information about PTSD. They can now apply for work comp through PTSD. Do you see that coming out maybe with some COVID-19 response as well?
Yeah, there's a little overlapping there because like you said, that the law just changed on the first responders, whereas in the past you needed to have a corresponding physical injury in order to have a claim for PTSD. They changed that, and this is last year, for PTSD are firefighters, police officers who are responding to emergencies. And then with the COVID virus, they passed even more recent law changes where those frontline workers, which are more than just the ambulance, EMT guys, and the police officers. Now you're looking at grocery store workers, delivery people, in addition to the regular first responders, just people who are out there doing their job when everyone else was locked down in the community, and they're exposing themselves to potentially getting caught more with the virus. And those cases, if those people have test positive for COVID, it's automatically deemed compensable. Whereas in the past, there's a lot tougher standards. So basically, they lowered the standards in both instances in different ways.
Wow. Yeah, that could be. Wow, that's interesting. That'll be interesting to see how that plays out. So if I'm a business owner, I can be held responsible if someone gets COVID-19. It's compensable.
Yep. Well,
Wow.
for example, I have two clients. I just got a second one yesterday regarding the COVID. I had one worked at a local grocery store, and they were considered, that's considered frontline work, because the grocery stores, people are coming in with their masks on or whatnot, but you're meeting a lot of people, checking a lot of people out. She developed COVID, and they were great. They picked it right up. They provided all the benefits that needed to be provided. And then the other situation that just popped up was really unique. I had a client who was on light duty, wasn't able to do her job. They offered her a light duty job that she can do at Goodwill, where she was having to interact with a bunch of people, and she just tested positive. So it's tied to the light duty job where she was exposed to all those people. So yeah, it's really interesting practicing law with all these new changes, and I'm sure it's going to lead to a lot of litigation. But yeah, it's definitely the world is changing quickly.
That's right. We're talking with attorney Jason Kobal Law here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, TampaWorkCompLaw.com or .net, I think it was. You got Jason Kobal here. So Jason, some of the other areas that we talk about is Zoom now. So Zoom being so popular, more and more people are Zooming into conversations, Zooming in. We think that's going to affect the commercial real estate market pretty significantly, but it's also affecting the law profession. Can you tell us how?
Oh, absolutely. Well, right now, in Texas, they just had their first Zoom jury trial, and I tell you, it's completely different than the way it's you've always been able to appear before a jury of your peers in person. And even though it's great, technology gives us this ability, it's not the same, when you're appearing by Zoom. But when we're dealing with COVID, we really didn't have a choice. So all depositions were done by Zoom. I'm still doing them by Zoom. Mediations, everybody's appearing by Zoom. So it's a lot more convenient, but it's not the same. So I see a lot of cases that maybe I think may have settled if it was a mediation conducted in person isn't settling, just because you just don't get the same feel on the phone as you would in person. This is my personal opinion. So I'm hoping that we bounce back and get back to normal, and we get some vaccines out there. I heard that we might be able to get a couple million by the end of the year. That'd be wonderful, because I'm ready to get back to normal. But yeah, right now things we're relying heavily on the Zoom and the legal community.
Yeah, it's such a challenge, to have that this in certain industries it's affecting worse, like real estate. We're still busy. We're getting a lot of calls. We put 4 or 5 properties under contract over the weekend with just, it feels like that pent up demand that we've talked about is coming out now. It feels like the COVID-19 is in the rearview mirror. And when you look at, so you look at Zoom affecting different industries, training industries, all of the comedians, motivational speakers, different industries got hit different ways. For example, the sports industry got hit, and some of the different tweets that were sent out, potential salary cuts for MLB, sources tell at Jesse Rogers, ESPN. The baseball players are frustrated. They're getting their salaries cut potentially. And then you've got UFC, Dana White, the way that he led the UFC, he still had UFC 249 fighter salary. So it said Tony Ferguson tops out about $500,000 and Yorgan De Castro bottoms out at $12K, but he still made millions of dollars with the UFC doing their pay-per-view.
Right. And and I tell you, it's crazy because, we focus so hard on the COVID, and, we all worked so hard on social distancing and making the changes that we had to make. And then now with this horrific situation that happened to Mr. Floyd, that was terrible with the police officers. And, I'm glad that they filed charges against all of them. And then, you have your peaceful protesters, which is great. But now you see these rioters and the people that are taking advantage of the peaceful protesters who are bringing violence and looting. The other night I saw Macy's in Manhattan with seas of people looting through the front door of Macy's. I never thought I'd see that in a million years. But we're so focused on social distancing, and then you turn on the TV the last week, and you see seas of people shoulder to shoulder rioting, or even protesting shoulder to shoulder, and it makes you wonder why can't I go to a football game?
Right.
So
Right.
So I don't know where things are headed, but yeah, it was kind of contradictory to go from being so focused on being disciplined and social distancing to now, last week it's been pretty crazy with the protests and the riots with what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's going to affect real estate as well. We've seen a migration from states like New York, California, New Jersey, Minnesota, down to Florida even more, not only the tax purposes, but also just for that flight from some of the urban areas. I think there's a lot more people moving out of those big cities to smaller cities, smaller towns, or rural areas here in Florida, in Tampa Bay, of course. And if you just joined us, we're talking with attorney Jason Kobal here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. And Jason, can you update us on that? You had a case that was going before the Supreme Court, the state Supreme Court. That was pretty cool.
Right. Well, yeah. No, in this case, actually, it started out as mine. It was just my client, and it was an injured worker who wrongfully received medical bills. It's never supposed to happen. And through the course of that litigation, we discovered that this was a systematic problem that wasn't just happening to my client, but happening to a bunch of people. So it turned into a class action case, and I don't handle class action cases. So I punted it to a class action firm, and that's who's actually handling it now. But it was originally my case, so I still consider it that's my client that's on the case name. But yeah, it's at the Supreme Court right now. And the other side, they submitted their initial brief, and right now our side's working on submitting ours. And it's a huge case because what they're trying to do on the other side is say basically, hey, we're allowed to bill injured workers, and if you have a problem with that, then you got to take that to workers' comp court. And our position is no. The laws are very clear. The fair debt laws say you can't knowingly bill someone you shouldn't be billing, and the work comp law is clear that if someone tells you they're there for work-related injury, you have to bill the carrier, not the injured worker. So we feel strongly that it's going to pan out the way we want it, but you never know. So I have a whole percentage of my practice that's dedicated to injured workers that get billed. So I'll be devastated if we lose this, but I like our chances. So I have faith in the Florida Supreme Court, and we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, I wonder, do you work with a company that's based closer to Tallahassee and something like that? Is that
no, not necessarily,
Mhm.
but the firm that's handling it now, like I said, they're more in tune to class actions, dealing with representing a class of individuals, hundreds of thousands of people, as opposed to just one individual case. And then there's also experts that deal with appellate law, dealing cases before the Supreme Court. So I'm proud to say that I started that case, but at this point, I'm kind of just part of a team as opposed to the one running the show, but still honored to be part of it.
Right on. Yeah. So here's a couple other industries that are devastated by the COVID-19. The hotel industry, the airline industry, 9 times worse as far as the hotel industry. Historic low occupancy for hotels, 9 times worse than 9/11. Even the 9/11, 9 times worse for hotels.
Wow. Yeah. Especially down here in Florida, the travel industry is so important to Florida. It's going to be interesting over the next few years to see how the changes affect things. I know me personally, a lot of my injured workers were in the travel industry, working at hotels or, airlines, getting injured. And now, obviously, with those people not working or not working as much, they're clearly not getting hurt as much. So we'll have to see. That's why it's good to diversify a little bit.
That's right. Yeah, and it's interesting to see how the industries move and the markets move. For example, we talked about Gold's Gym filing for Chapter 11, Anytime Fitness filing bankruptcy. And so Peloton, this is a quote, a headline. It says, Peloton could emerge much stronger after coronavirus shutdowns end, analysts say. So, yeah, people buying that for their home.
That absolutely. I have a Peloton. I love it. But and that stock was doing really well, but I agree with that. That's going to blow out the roof if all these gyms are in trouble like that. And it's a heck of a lot easier to just, work out on your Peloton at home. I love it. A great product.
That's right. Yeah, and then you got that mirror now too, so you could have that mirror on the wall.
Yeah, that looks cool too.
Have someone working out with you. And then here's another one, Redfin CEO. Vacation real estate markets are toast because of the pandemic as Airbnb owners rush to offload their real estate, their homes. So that's an interesting one. I don't know if I completely buy into that. I think in some of the other states that I aforementioned, maybe Airbnb owners are selling them off faster. I don't think so much in Tampa Bay or in Florida because it's still a rental property. People have to live somewhere and people, want a vacation.
That's right. Right.
Yeah.
And once the restrictions are lifted, I think that I agree with you on that.
Temporary. I think it's just temporary as far as that goes. If you still, so if you have an Airbnb property and you can withstand 2, 3, 6 months potentially of, low occupancy, just like the hotels are, you're still going to have appreciation. But yeah, if some people are that short in terms of their budgets and their wallet, then yeah, they might want to sell those properties. I can see that happening too.
Right.
Good stuff. All right, we got Jason Kobal here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. When we come back, Jason, I want to ask you about your casino game. You're inventor as well. You invented a game. I want to ask you about that, and also some of your personal injury stuff you got going. I think you mentioned potential trip and fall cases coming up here. So stay with us. We're going to talk more with attorney Jason Kobal here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We also have our feel-good story of the day coming up as well. Hawaii fishermen donate 220 pounds of tuna to local hospitals. Stay with us. Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at ConsumerQB.com. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at ConsumerQB.com.
All All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here. I'm your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm also the owner of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, top real estate group here in Tampa Bay, actually in the top 1% of all realtors in the area. Recently featured again in Florida Realtor Magazine, May 2020 issue, just recently featured for branding, marketing, getting exposure for our team and our listings. It's an honor to be featured in Florida Realtor Magazine for, I think, something like the 6th or 7th time here recently in the last few years. So helping you win in any marketplace with the show as your consumer advocate. And I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. We got attorney Jason Kobal as well going to be joining us here in just a moment. But before we do, I want to jump into our feel-good story of the day. Hawaii fishermen donate 220 pounds of tuna to local hospitals. So a small group of fishermen in Hawaii caught 2 yellowfin tuna totaling 222 pounds and donated it all to local hospitals. The tuna was sent to a seafood distributor who cleaned, cooked, and prepared the tuna and into more than 300 poke bowls, which were then delivered to Honolulu Straub Medical Center and the Queens Medical Center. One of the fishermen was Kyle Nakamoto, who says his team was inspired to do good for their community after witnessing another local fisherman, 104-year-old Setsuko Todori, regularly catch fish, then donated to strangers in need. Quote, "It was an amazing opportunity. Giving away whole tuna fin, whole yellowfin tuna is really a big thing. It's the top of the line grade A tuna," he told CNN. All right, so there's our feel-good story of the day. Every day we're telling you something positive here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and this segment is brought to you by Two Maids and a Mop, the official cleaning partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Two Maids and a Mop. They do a great job cleaning our real estate properties. They even clean our personal home, and I trust them to do a great job, and so can you. Safe, reliable, professional-grade cleaning from Two Maids and a Mop, the official cleaning partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Give Tabitha a call. She's the owner of the Clearwater location. Let her know that the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. And again, please support our local economy and support our show partners here in the Tampa Bay area. Now more than ever, we need to band together and pull together here and support all things local here in Tampa Bay. A couple of hot listings here. We got property in Hudson, Potterton Circle, 14527 Potterton Circle here in Tampa Bay. This is a great 3-bedroom, 2-bath property, gated community, beautiful home right here in Tampa Bay, clean, ready to go, turnkey opportunity to own real estate here in beautiful Tampa Bay. We also have Waterfront Beauty at 520 George Street South. This is on Lake Tarpon. It's a gorgeous opportunity to own waterfront property. You've got a mother-in-law suite, which could be rented out. You have your own private dock and a great opportunity to own your own waterfront property right here in Tampa Bay on Lake Tarpon, which is 2,500-acre ski lake. You got boats, jet skis, stand-up paddle boards, fish from your own dock. Great opportunities to own real estate right here in beautiful Tampa Bay, Florida. All right, we got Jason Kobal, attorney Jason Kobal on the show here. So, Jason, I wanted to ask you about your update on your casino game. You invented this game. You've been getting it into different places, different casinos. What's the update?
Oh, well, it's, actually related a little bit to the COVID situation. With the COVID, we just had the Hard Rock open up, and I wish them the best in Tampa, but casino table games, that whole industry is now completely changed. Even with these casinos slowly opening up, they have to do it with the restrictions. So they got to keep people 6 feet away. They've got glasses in between the dealers and the players and everything. We'll see how things go over time, but it's hindered the casino table game industry. So now it's even harder than ever to get casinos to try new games. But just out of nowhere, I got contacted about 2 weeks ago by a gaming company in Argentina who's now focused more on online social games. And what that is instead of my casino table game that I created and invented that's for casinos to use, where it's a banked game, meaning you're up against the house. You can never win. The house always has an edge. I also just happened to make it years ago, and I didn't even know anyone paid attention to it. I just put it up on our website, but I had a social version made of my game where instead of playing against the house, you play against each other. Very similar rules, except, there's a pot and the players play against each other instead of the house. And I was contacted by this gaming company out in Argentina, and they want to put it, we're working together right now on the details, but they're going to have it in their online casino. And they think this whole purpose of what this company is doing is to get more into social gaming as opposed to table gaming, because they think that millennials and everything going on with the COVID, that there's a bigger future for that type of online players playing against each other, as opposed to going to a casino and risking playing against the house.
Wow.
So it's very interesting. It's a cool opportunity. I hope it pans out. But we got a couple things we need to address and regulations. We got to make sure they're in place. Everything's got to be done above board, and it's tough when you're dealing internationally, but I'm very excited. And it's a newly regulated jurisdiction out there in Argentina. So it'll be cool to see if hopefully we get the casino over under online, the social game version.
That's interesting, man. That is such a growing demographic, that online, the gaming, people sitting there watching other people play and learning their strategies and their tricks on how do they get to the next board or the next level. That's an interesting area there.
Yeah. It's kind of like my casino over under social game version. It's kind of like, instead of players playing like Hold'em or whatever, they're playing a simple counting game. So they're hoping it'll open the doors to some more atypical players that maybe don't have experience playing poker and just looking to have fun. Just a simple little math game, but definitely there's a lot of strategy involved, and it'll be cool. But yeah, that whole scene as far as like e-gaming, it's unbelievable. They're filling up stadiums to watch people play video games. I never thought I'd see that, but and it's making tons of money. So yeah, that's where the future is.
That's interesting. And you were saying you recently had another trip and fall accident.
Well, yeah, no, it's interesting with all. I don't know if this is coincidence or what, but I don't think so. With the COVID and the restrictions, it seems like even in my neighborhood, there's a lot more people just walking. And I've had I'd say 3 trip and fall cases where clients of mine were out walking and tripped on a sidewalk. Now, a lot of people, you trip, it's embarrassing, you fall down, you try to brush it off and move on. But there's actually, if you're hurt seriously, I could help you out. And there's certain things you really should do. If you trip and it's because there's a damaged sidewalk, take pictures of it. Make sure I know exactly where you're at, because we have to see. We have to see if it's the county that owns it or it's a private property. But those are valuable cases and not to be taken lightly. And with so many people out there walking, if you get hurt, give me a call.
All right, good stuff. Jason Kobal, thanks for calling into the show today. Mary Surnicki, Suncoast Roofing, was on earlier. And thanks so much for listening and viewing our TV show as well. We'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time.